Stu.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Going live.
Might help if I turn my speaker on. There we go. How y'all doing?
Good.
Up in the 90s today, boss man.
Where are you at?
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with, of course, the panel that's already talking over top of the intro. And as always, I want to say thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, especially Stu, who comes in with summertime grooves. I appreciate everybody coming in and joining us on Sunday afternoon. I mean, it would be much nicer if we actually had football games to watch, but I guess we'll have the USFL games coming up in the very near future, so we'll be able to watch some of that. In the meantime and in between time, let me bring in, let me at least go ahead and say we are all being held hostage.
Held hostage at the whim of a madman. The whim of a madman. I like that.
That's right. We are being held hostage at the whim of a madman. And let me go ahead and bring my panel up in here. How's everybody doing today? I see James Nooks is the first one. He must have been the last one to speak. James, how are you doing?
I'm good.
You're good?
Mm-hmm.
You're not great. You're just good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Just wait. I'll be great once we get through the draft. Seems like it's taking forever. I mean,
we're almost there.
We're almost there. D2 Stu. Stu, what's up, man? You're a little early for summertime, don't you think?
Hey, it feels like summertime right now. It's going to be in the 90s today. It's nice and warm outside. Don't have to wear any sleeves today.
Damn. Okay, it's only like 44 here. It got cold last night. Tony. Damn, Tony. Wow, what's up, Tony? Tony with the $49 holla. Good God almighty. God is good, as they would say. All right, so good people. I see there's Roland's review. I was just over at her live stream. How y'all feeling? Have you guys calmed down any from what's transpired with the season so far? I'm actually stepping back a little bit and getting my emotions out of it. I see James Nooks is like,
I've made peace with the Cooper situation.
Yeah. But
I'm still a little bit bent about not just because Randy was one of my favorite players and one of our better defenders, but just the way it went down. I'm still kind of raw about that one.
Okay.
It's not a good look on the organization, and I hate, at least what I think our perception is to players that might be looking to come in.
Well, I agree with you on that one. And actually, exactly. Yeah. And there's Stacy Schubert. Stacy, how you doing, girl?
Bye.
How you doing, Stacy?
I'm doing all right. I'm just agreeing with what you guys are saying. I'm just a little despondent. And Mark, I told you, and I know you guys aren't going to do what I'm going to do, but I'm going to start looking at male figure skating.
Now, hold on, Raymond. Raymond Salas Jr. said all this channel has become is a Cowboys bashing channel.
We love our Cowboys, but that's why it's frustrating.
Well, okay, Raymond, do you want me to go ahead and tell you that it's unicorns and ice cream and everything's perfect? You know, if you make mistakes, you need to understand what mistakes you're making, so hopefully you don't make them in the future. And it has, right. I mean, I'm calling a spade a spade. And like I said, I'm trying to look at both sides of the equation. Today, if you watched my morning video, I was like, okay, I've come to peace. I've let the dust settle a little bit. And realizing that all of these new shiny pieces that teams have, at least half of them probably will be looking for a new team next year.
That's right.
Right? If we go through free agent signings and look at typically what happens, and I went through the numbers in between 2013 and 2020, only half of the ones that were signed were on the same team the next year. And players that made it through 2 seasons, it was less than 33%. So in some regard, when you think about some of the money that's being spent, maybe we end up dodging a bullet. And as far as Randy Gregory goes, let's think back for a second here. Let's think back. Jason Renfro, shout out to Jason. too as well. To Jason Hatcher, who had 11 sacks with us his last year, people said we need to re-sign him. We did, and he goes to Washington, and he went back to his typical norms of 3 sacks a season. Right?
Randy, on pure athletic ability alone, is light years better than he was.
Okay, but you know what? Okay, instead of looking at the glass half empty, or actually that the glass is broken, how about this? How about we brought back almost every single piece from last year's defense that improved from 31st to 9th in scoring defense. And the players that you brought back now have a second year of working with Dan Quinn, so they should be able to start fine-tuning what they did. How about OC should be better than he was as a rookie, right? Golston should be better than he was as a rookie, right? You know, just because they have a little more experience. Hopefully Neville Gallimore doesn't miss 10 games in the season, and should be rounding into shape, right? And actually looking at Armstrong's numbers, he didn't have as many pressures as Randy Gregory, but he was only 1 sack behind them, and he actually had more tackles. And with Dante Fowler, maybe with the Dan Quinn, he ends up being like Robert Quinn. He comes back in and rejuvenates his career. That's at least what I'm looking at on the defense.
That'd be nice.
What you think about the new Schottenheimer's son coming over?
That's one of those things. I know a lot of teams have the quality control guys, as they call it, and all that stuff. But to me, that is like a tutor. You know, if you're smart enough, you shouldn't need a tutor or somebody else looking over your shoulder. And if anybody should be the one that should be the quality control, I would think that it should be our head coach.
Mark.
Yes.
We had a tutor last year, and we see how that worked out. So they're bringing all these people in. We had people in place last year. Why? When we got to the playoff game, that last half of the season, everyone knew what the issues were. Why wasn't we had all these people in place? No one corrected the problem. So I'm shocked that we lost the playoff game.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir there. To me, you get to the point where you have too many people. You have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians, and too many voices that at some point the player just needs to listen to the player. Because, for example, for me, okay, as a general contractor, I'm building a furniture store or whatever. When the customer comes in, they don't go to the electrician and the electrician's helper and all that. They come to one person. That person ends up running the thing, because if you have, we're going to talk to this guy and to that guy, this guy may not know what the other guy is teaching, and now all of a sudden you're getting different signals about what should be going on, and the players get confused. And so, I feel better about where the defense is. My thing on the offense is I think we're trying to do too many things. Think about Mike Nolan. When Mike Nolan came in on the defense, he was talking about we're going to be a hybrid defense and we're going to be able to match up with everybody, right? Problem is they were just kind of a jack of all trades and they didn't master anything. And as I look at our offense where we're trying to do all these different things, I still don't know what is the one thing that we are. I don't know what it is. Are we a deep passing team? Are we a dink and dunk team? Are we a running team? I don't know. There needs to be something that says we're going to be able to do this in perfection, that no matter what, this is our bread and butter.
Yeah.
I don't know what the bread and butter is for the Dallas Cowboys.
They don't either.
Yeah. and that's where it seemed like, once Tyron Smith got hurt and Zeke was a little nicked up along with Tony Pollard, it was like a rudderless ship with no guidance. And that's where it's like, where's the creativity on the offense? It's like they don't know what to do next.
Yep.
So that would be my biggest concern.
I don't think they'll ever find it, to be honest with you, this season.
I don't know. Sometimes
$18 million a year pass blocker in the backfield that can't run more than 5 yards because of a torn PCL.
I'm not going to put it all on Zeke. I mean, Zeke is not the same guy, but let's be clear here. The offensive line was terrible.
They're trash.
Okay.
They were terrible, but they shouldn't have put Zeke back out there with that.
Wait, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase it. After week 7, the offensive line was terrible. From the time that Terrence Steele was taken off of being right tackle and had to go fill in for Tyron Smith, and then we started playing games with Connor Williams and Connor McGovern, which once the guard situation was bad, then all the bad stuff with Badish started coming through because he didn't have a guy playing well beside him. And then you had Tyron Smith trying to come back, and he wasn't healthy. You know, I don't know if you guys remember, I said one of the two won't be here next year. I said either Tyron Smith or Lyle Collins. I said you got to get rid of one or the other and start over.
I got a question for you, Mark. What do you think about Olave? Us drafting Olave from Ohio State.
It wouldn't be bad. I mean, if we could get him.
If he's there, I'd say take him.
You could take him, yeah. I mean, for me, okay, here's my first take. And I doubt he'd be there, but I would love to get Jordan Davis if he was there, but he's not going to be there. So that's, you know, the crack pipe dream in me right there.
Possible. I think Zion Johnson will be there.
Yeah. And I've got to go through more of the draft picks and stuff. I've been focusing on all the other stuff. I'm kind of a late guy to the party when it comes to draft prospects.
Bringing on the O-line, play both guard positions, has experience in both tackles. He's crazy good, and you got a really, really good wide receiver class.
Right, as well as tight ends and defensive line. And so here's kind of what I think the thinking is. And Stu, you sent me the that tweet, you know, about DJ Metcalf and, of course, Stephon Diggs. It seems to be now teams are looking and saying, instead of waiting till their contract is up and letting them go as a free agent, maybe we're better off trading them like, you know, they did with Adams and stuff, and as well with Tyreek Hill, and which also then all of a sudden makes you think about Stephon Diggs and DJ Metcalf. I think teams are looking at this draft and saying, okay, if we lose our receiver right now, if we can get great compensation, we can grab the next guy that's going to be dirt cheap that may be just as good because it is deep with wide receivers. Thoughts?
It's not going to make up for the loss of Gallup, though.
Well, no, it's not going to make up for the loss of Gallup.
I mean, Coop.
Well, Gallup.
We're going to be hurting a wide receiver. Period.
Maybe
we're not too bad at wide receiver.
Maybe not. I tell you what,
Gallup gets back healthy.
That's what I mean. We don't know how long Gallup's going to be out.
Yeah, but I tell you what,
Washington was buried underneath Deontay Johnson, Claypool, and Juju. I'm curious to see what he can do. He's got more ability than he was able to show with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, because Ben could not do. I mean, the last 2 years of Ben Roethlisberger was just not good. So I don't know that you can do that. But here's the thing that I was kind of pointing out. The funny thing is, everybody who has been elsewhere and come and worked with Dak Prescott, for whatever reason, they end up having their highest yards per catch total in their careers. And that goes for Dez Bryant. That goes for Randall Cobb. That goes for Amari Cooper. And so if he follows that same trend, you could actually look at him being a really decent receiver. Even Allen Hurns did pretty good with the Cowboys with that year after basically rebounding. So I'm not sure that it's going to be the worst case scenario. The key on it, though, is to me, if you want the passing game to work really well, take care of the offensive line. Because everything goes through the offensive line. If you get a guard who's not, getting penalties every other play, I mean, Connor Williams had 13 penalties last year. 13.
I bet they Mark.
Yeah.
If they're not going to do it now that he's in, where is he, Miami?
Mm-hmm.
Watch. He won't get all those penalties.
Probably not. But
he's not
if we can get that offensive line together, Zeke, if there's a hole there, Zeke, he may not break it all the way, but he's going to be able to pick up some yardage. The holes really weren't there.
If he can stay healthy and the O-line's fixed, we'll be fine.
Well, see, and here's the difference, though. Remember Darren McFadden? When Derek McFadden came to the Cowboys, he is averaging like 3.3 yards a carry, and he was always injured, okay? And I'll tell you why he was always injured. Because their offensive line was terrible, and what was happening was he was always getting hit in the backfield. And when you get hit in the backfield, you're trying to make a move. You're trying to cut, and you've got the 300-pound guys that are falling on you. When he came to Dallas, the holes were there where he was now getting hit by linebackers and cornerbacks and safeties that were more glancing blows without having the big people falling on you. And I dare say that that's part of the problem with Zeke Elliott too. If you can't get that guy past the line of scrimmage, you're going to end up getting pounded on mercilessly. And that's where everything starts from that offensive line. And if you can get that running game going, Dak will get those guys the ball if he's got time to throw the pass. But we became one-dimensional.
Well, I mean, it's going to help the run, but I still think we're hurting at receiver. I mean, Gallup's going to get CD's going to get double teamed.
Probably.
And then it leaves it up to Washington and whoever we have left to get single coverage. And I just don't think they're good enough. I just don't. So
they should get a decent rookie in the first or second round to go along with Washington, Gallup, and CD. I'm not as worried about our wide receivers as I am.
I'm worried about the line.
I am too. The line is the number one thing that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, how good is Connor McGovern going to be? I mean, he struggled when he went out there. So what's he going to look like?
He's not going to be the starter.
And if Biotis don't improve, he's going to be a bust.
Well, there's an old saying, you win in the trenches. Yeah. And that's been since the beginning of football. If you can't win the trenches, you're done. It doesn't matter about the passing game or the running game. If you don't have a line to get you at least 3 yards per play, you're done.
You're right on.
Well, that's what it was until Cincinnati came off. Cincinnati's got the worst offensive line in football, and they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you know what? They gave him enough protection, and they did enough with the run where they would do play action, and all those linebackers would run right to the line, and all he would do was pick them off. Look, Dallas isn't a real deep throwing, offensive-minded football team. They will hit you with that 15-yard, 10-yard, and let the wide receivers do the rest.
That's
right. They're 11 and 12 personnel team.
Well, if we were actually, if we actually got a really good tight end, a blocking, catching tight end, I would actually like to see him doing more 12 personnel because there's so many things that you can do on it. You can go either way depending on what the defense does. You can be a 8-man, running the football front. Or you can end up taking your tight ends and having them going out and basically be a 4-wide receiver set. And they've done that actually pretty well. They've been actually one of the better teams at doing 12 personnel. But again, with Zeke and Tony Pollard both being hurt, it was just not any semblance of a running game consistently of what you need, especially when the weather got bad. And as bad as it was, guys, we still weren't that far away against the 49ers. And mind you, as much as everybody's killing Dak Prescott, the league MVP lost to that same team, too, as the number 1 seed. Right?
Yep.
And everybody talking about how much Dak sucks. Take a look at the numbers between Aaron Rodgers and him. They had the same number of touchdown passes.
I don't blame
I mean, you look at everything. Dak actually had more yardage passing. And they both lost in their first game in the playoffs. So, I don't see this wide chasm that everybody is, talking about between Dak sucks and Aaron Rodgers is God. Aaron Rodgers ain't winning shit anymore either.
Well, the thing with Dak that I know, that I see, is that he needs to improve, just like all players. This is the craft. This is their job. They improve every season. Mm-hmm. But if he can just improve on not throwing the ball above his receivers, a little bit better accuracy, I think he is in the top 5. He's in the top 10 right now, but he could be in the top 5 if he just tweaked a little bit. And I think that comes with being a veteran and maybe even having somebody come in and just helping them tweak a little bit. I remember Tony Romo, and everybody here does too. When they had a veteran quarterback, Bernie Kosar, behind him, and when Bernie was there, he really improved, from night and day.
I hear what you're saying on that, but I'm actually going to, I get accused of being a Dak defender and all that, but there was Dak pre-injury and Dak after injury.
Correct.
And I think that calf was a lot worse than what we were told because, I know you're talking about his accuracy and stuff, but here's the thing. Tampa Bay, 72 completion percentage, 100 rating. Chargers, 85.2 completion percentage, 85 rating. Eagles, 80 completion percentage, 140 rating, right? Panthers, 73 percentage, and then 130 rating. Giants 69 completion percentage, 117 rating. Then Patriots 70% completions, 108. Right? He got hurt in the Patriots game. All of a sudden, completion percentage drops 61 against the Vikings, 48 against the Broncos. It did go back up against the Falcons to 80. But you could see he never got close to what he was doing those first 7 games. I mean, is it conceivable that calf, that same calf, that injury that Michael Gallup kept him out for, 8 games? He only missed 1. And if you looked at him throwing, sometimes you see him doing this kind of hop step throw where he wasn't even on the ground. I'm going to say that some of that may be that he was injured. And then
you want to be the guy to go to Jerry and see him and go, "Hey, Dak can't play, man. He's injured."
Yeah.
I know. As a quarterback, you need your legs.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only quarterback. I mean, you look across the board. When you see a guy with an ACL injury or MCL, anything, even a high ankle sprain, when they come back, they're not top notch, even though they're healed, because they still have that thing in their head, that mentality thinking, is it going to give out? Is it going to give out? And it usually takes a year. So I really think that this coming year, Dak is going to be able to be a better player than he was before he got injured.
Yeah. But he was dealing with all. We didn't even know about his other shoulder needing surgery. And
Mark, like yourself, you're a carpenter, but you got to go up and down ladders too.
Yeah.
And I know that with your knees, that first step, you're thinking, and you feel your knee and your knee is good. And you go up the first step and you're like, okay, I got it all. And you're running up the ladder. But it's that first step that you start, you got that little double-minded going, oh, here it goes.
Or I tell you what it is more than anything else. The first time you get that little twinge and it jumps and you immediately grab it. And it's like, did it tear? So you've got that whole thing that you're dealing with mentality-wise. But I don't think that it was completely 100% healed. You think about,
I don't think so either.
He ended up going from surgery to rehab right into the season. I don't think it really had enough time to heal, and I think that's where everything led from being his shoulder and calf and everything else.
Was it his decision or was it the training staff's decision? Because I think he was rushed back way, way, way too quick.
I think he pushed to get back.
Yeah. When you're a football player, you've got a warrior mentality. I can always play. I mean, I tore my ACL, and I was trying to get up off the ground and trying to get back up, to play some more. It's just the way you are. You're going to have to be knocked out to be kept off the field. And I think with Dak, I think that leg was a lot worse on the calf than what they said it was.
Yeah, they asked him if he could play, and of course, Dak's going to say, I can play.
Right.
Well, it's like anybody here that's ever played football and got a concussion. You got a concussion, you're like, Coach, I'm okay. And you go back in and your head's still spinning.
Yeah.
Unless you're walking to the wrong sideline, then that's a pretty good sign. You need.
Back in our day, when we played, it was like, oh, you got a blue dot hit. You're seeing stars. It was like, a badge of honor back in our days, man. They didn't keep you. Rub some dirt on it. You'll be fine. Tony, damn. Tony, let's make it simple. Let's make you Mark GM, and we go to the Super Bowl. Troy Aikman and Tony Romo as head coaches together. Corpus Christi, big fan. Shout out to Tony with a $99.99 super chat. Holy shit. Whoa. Shout out to you, Tony. Tony, email me at cowboysmark94@gmail so I can send you like some shot glasses or something as a thank you for all that. That's above and beyond the Call of Duty. So are you guys on the bandwagon that the Cowboys are just like Colin Cowherd said that there's about 15 teams that are better than the Cowboys?
God.
I'll say this, we're not the same team we were last year yet.
I mean, he just
changed with the draft, but as of right now, we're not a better team than we were last year.
No, we are not.
But you know what? A lot of things that Cowherd says is more like clickbait. It really is.
Definitely.
Oh, we still got the draft.
He's picking the Washington football team with
cut after the draft. We got some time before the season starts. I think we'll be fine.
I think we should take some of them 5th-round picks and
still
package
frustrated
them up and move up the ladder or something.
All right, I'm going to say this much. I'm going to say the cake's not completely baked yet. Okay? Because here's the thing. Okay, we know baby nuts. I think, Stu, that's what you said. Big Game James calls them baby nuts.
Yeah, baby nuts.
Forgive me,
Yeah.
Stacy. I didn't mean to say that in front of you like that. We know that they don't sign big name players. We know that, right? But we do know that we're going to get another $10 million come June 1st. We got the draft next month, okay? Hopefully we can get a couple of starters out there, offensive linemen that can actually really open up some holes that maybe we get lucky and we get an out-the-box offensive lineman like a Travis Frederick or a Zach Martin or a Tyron Smith. There is still that second round of free agency, that bargain basement time where everybody's blown their wad and stuff, where teams have drafted some players, they got young people, and they say, this guy's expendable. And there's still some good players that you can get in and bring in there. Anybody have any faith in that?
If Stephen
Why do I
Jones,
feel like I'm at a funeral.
I don't. Do I think they're out there? Yes. Do I have faith that Dallas will sign them? No.
if Stephen Jones wasn't in charge of everything, I would have faith. But with him running the show, no way.
Amen.
He's cheap.
Well, could it be that we do this defensive lineman by rotation thing, and similar to wide receiver by rotation, wind up trading for a pass rusher for the trade deadline because it's not as good as Stephen Jones thought it would be?
I tell you what. Okay, here's where everybody can just say, I'm crazy that I've been hanging out with Hawk in his basement. I've been hanging with, I love weed, okay? I've been passing the Dutchie from the left-hand side with Randy Gregory at Mile High and everything else. But I still can't get this out of my head. Bobby Wagner. Just humor me for a second. So what is Bobby Wagner looking for? He's been to the Rams, who, they didn't get Von Miller. They've got a loaded team, right? He's from California, so that's like his hometown. Nothing there. Okay. He says, I want to win. Okay. Well, you're talking about Baltimore Ravens with, the legend of Ray and always having a great defense. They went crazy up in Baltimore yesterday and even today. Oh, this is a great weekend to sign Bobby Wagner. But, he came in, he spent the day there, and he left out. And still nothing. So what is it that Bobby Wagner's looking for? And why
I think he's just trying to weigh his options, maybe.
I think it's got to be money.
Is it?
It has. Why? If it was about winning, he'd go to the Rams.
The Rams or Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore's still a really good team.
The Rams didn't have the money.
Thomas Garrett, what's happening? I'm still in my mind about Jerry Jones's lawsuit on the 31st. That would be the day to turn the page and get that stuff out of the spotlight. I still believe that this is a game that's being played with the Cowboys organization and the relationship between Dan Quinn and Bobby Wagner. Am I crazy?
No. I believe it.
Because, Jerry Jones, now he was at the National Medal of Honor thing right there, which is kind of crazy. That's the first place he's seen. National Medal of Honor is the first place he's shown up at. But he had to go to that. But, that court hearing is going to be a circus. And what better way to kind of tamp that down than if you were to sign Bobby Wagner?
Sure as hell hope you're right. That would be crazy.
And as long as it's been and he's been out there and hasn't signed,
that's the thing.
You have to.
The longer that goes, the better it is for us.
Yeah.
The longer it goes.
You can't tell me with all this money and all these teams jockeying out there to get better,
right?
That he can't get a gig? He can't get a gig.
What's up, Thomas?
And he didn't sign one thing and doing something else.
We're gonna make Mark edibles. Come on, Juan. What do you get? Don't put.
And he acts on behalf of himself, so he don't have
and
right.
And more likely, if Dan Quinn wasn't here with the Cowboys, he probably would have been signed already.
Right, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if you ask me, the longer as it goes, the more it's in our favor.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, somebody didn't just come out. Jacob King says, "Mark, you're crazy." Well, that's not the first. You are not the first person to say I'm crazy, but there's something. There's something going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Out there this doesn't make sense when you see the money that's been flowing. When you've seen all these big trades and everything, you're telling me that a guy who had 170 tackles, a 6-time All-Pro, an 8-time Pro Bowler, that he can't get a gig?
Hey,
and
Mark,
he's only had 2 visits? Something else is going on. Yes, ma'am.
You're right. They may be gaslighting us and trying to throw us off when they actually know they're going to sign them. You could be right.
Drop a bomb and
and the thing with the Cowboys is this. This is the thing that we know about Jerry Jones and the crew. They don't know the value of a player. Every time they've gone out and had to make a contract, it always ends up being bigger than what the norm is. Look at Zeke Elliott. Right now, you look at does anybody think a running back is going to ever get paid like that again?
Never.
No.
Okay. No. Not only did, Stephen Jones say, we're not going to reset the market, you obliterated it. But you look at all their contracts, D-Laws, you looked at, of course, Michael Gallup's things. I mean, they're always like overpaying people left and right. So what they do is, I'm sorry, not Michael Gallup, I meant Amari Cooper. What they do is, why don't you go out in free agency and see what you get, and we'll try and re-sign you. That's what they did with Amari Cooper. That's what they tried to do with Randy Gregory. Could it be that they're kind of saying, okay, Bobby, see what you're worth on the market, and we'll go from there?
I mean, I don't think they've really had a bad track record as far as signing free agents, other than Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy was terrible.
Really, only signed 2 big ones: Brandon Carr and Greg Hardy. That's the
we did.
Williams was a horrible one.
Oh no, I'm talking about since we've had baby.
Oh
nuts.
well, yeah,
last 10 years of baby nuts.
But this Joneses were still the owners when we did Deion Sanders.
Yeah, and baby nuts threw his dad against the wall and said, "Are you crazy?"
I told you the other day we need Dan Quinn to throw baby nuts against the wall and demand he goes get Bobby.
Right. I'd have to believe that Dan Quinn to me has a lot more influence on this team than Mike McCarthy does.
Because of what he did with the defense.
But it seemed like out the box they gave him more latitude.
Yep.
Than they gave Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, of course, we had of the consultants and all this, that, and the other, and Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones and all that right up underneath him. But it seemed like out the box with Dan Quinn, they've always okay, Dan, you do your thing, and we'll follow. And that's where I think that Dan Quinn may be the wild card in that whole situation.
Well, McCarthy blew it when he signed when they signed Mike Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
That was a disaster. So he lost credibility.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn and giving him all that power was an overcorrection from Nolan. Maybe they overcorrect the bad PR and do something with Bobby, like you're saying.
Call me crazy. Do you think they might be waiting until after the draft to sign him?
I think he'll be signed by somebody before then.
Yeah, they're going to want to know what they got before they go into the draft. So he's
right.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Here's the other thing with the Cowboys, though, too, is you could have with Dan Quinn, you could have a wink, wink, nod, nod type of a deal, because they could be saying, okay, let's hold on to the $16 million that we have for other guys. We got the 10 coming June 1st. I mean, depending on, and that's where you look at it and say, hey, we got you. We got you. Here's our contract. We're just going to finalize it in June. Or
that's,
you know what I'm saying?
Because if they don't, yeah.
I mean, I'm just, like I said, something is not right with this situation. That there's got to be a reason why. If you are out here trying to get as much money as possible, you don't want to wait, because the longer it goes, the less money people have, right? Yep. Unless I've already got my deal set up.
That's what's got me curious. Why didn't he sign with the Rams? I mean, good golly, they're coming off the Super Bowl.
And thinking they tried to get Von Miller to come back.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
All the Rams could give him was $4 million, and that
Oh,
Yeah, they ain't got no money.
No.
The Rams don't have any money.
Hold on. You can sign however you want to, because here's what Buffalo did. You know what Von Miller's hit is this year?
$2 million, isn't it?
It's like $3 million.
$3 million.
That big contract that he signed, this year's cap number is like $3 million. So, and here's what teams realize. 2024, the salary cap is going to explode because that's where all the new money comes in. So they're just kicking the stuff down the road, for later on. So just get them in right now. We got the payday loan. We got a whole windfall of cash coming. So that's how teams are signing guys that have no money.
Well, the Rams have to for it because they ain't got no draft picks.
Say what?
The Rams don't have any draft picks, so they have to do.
That's why you would think that the Rams would say, "Okay, Bobby, we need you here." That's why they tried to bring back Odell. That's why they tried to bring back Von Miller and stuff, because it's like we don't have draft picks to reload with.
Do you think maybe it could be also the guaranteed money and the bonus?
I mean, it could be, but again, to me, a bigger risk is Von Miller than it is Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, because Von didn't get much more than they were going to offer Gregory anyway. We didn't get Gregory. Yeah. They could have just gave all that to Von.
Yeah.
Mark, I think that once you compared, initially I was angry like everyone else when the deal fell through with the Gregory. Mm-hmm. I was just more so angry. Again, people who have lots and lots of money, billionaires, they automatically think that they're smarter than the average person, and they're actually not. And so my anger was more so that they tried to do something underhanded. And as someone said earlier on the panel, that tarnishes our name. So when we're trying to bring additional free agents here, they're looking at you side-eye and, not trusting you. That's not the way that you win friends and influence people. So I like that. Don't, I deal with this. I told you that, Mark, with some stuff that some students try to do. And I said, sweetie, I've been doing this 25 years. So this stuff that you think you don't coming to me with some these lies, you take it somewhere. Take it to that first year teacher, because I know better. Okay. Now,
Roland, that would make sense if you were actually trying to lure big name free agents here. But Stephen Jones isn't trying to lure him here. So what difference does that make? It really doesn't, because he doesn't care about him. He does not think that they are worth it in his mind.
When it's time for his contract, when it's time for Trayvon's contract, they're not going to forget this. How are we going to, so even if he's not trying to lure talent, how are we going to retain talent with these shady business practices? That's not how you conduct business.
That man.
D-Law wanted to stay here and be a Cowboy for life, though, didn't he? After he got screwed over, didn't he?
Right.
Well, I could say one thing about the contract. If you're one of these players that are on the weed and on other stuff, I can understand that contract scaring them away. But if you're not one of these party animals, want to be on TMZ type of guys, then I don't understand it, because if you're a clean-cut guy and you're doing your thing under the radar, I don't think that contract actually scares anybody. And by having that clause, maybe the agent can say, hey, look, he wants extra signing bonus money or more guaranteed money, because that is in the contract.
Well, Randy can't get suspended for weed anymore. I think
he can't, because he's under the old Gregory's still under the old he was grandfathered in under the old rules. So he can still get suspended if he gets caught smoking weed. He is not 100% reinstated.
No.
Right. But, if you look at the entire the contract situation, reality, let's be real. Mm-hmm. His agent was from Denver, all right, and lives in Denver. So if you guys, all of you were roughly in the same age group, you know how it doesn't take very much. If there's something that you kind of want to do, but I think Randy really wanted to be loyal and stay with the Cowboys. But I also feel that just the slightest whatever, and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what his agent wanted. And I agree they should not have had that clause in there because it had too much gray area. And he's never had a large contract. And now that I look, Mark actually compared, Gregory's stats, and I think you compared with what Dorrance Armstrong. And now that the deal fell through, I'm agreeing with Mark. I think we probably dodged a bullet not signing Randy Gregory. Again, some of his behavior, and tackling, what I think Mark said, tackling offensive linemen.
Yeah, that's penalties in the playoff game.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah, so, I don't blame the Joneses. I blame Gregory.
Well,
they tried to do, pull the wool over his eyes. Jerry already said he's one of the most intelligent people he's ever met. Why would you try? Why are you're these if you're a billionaire, and this is on Stephen. If you're a billionaire and you're supposed to be upholding this high standard, why are you involved in these shady business practices? You're not,
Here's the real question. Here's the real question is, why are you letting them, if this is a guy I need on my team, and in the same thing about Dak Prescott's contract, why you wait till the last minute to try and do this, or why do you let him go out in free agency? If he's truly a guy that I want and I need on my team, let me get this shit taken care of right now so that way I'm done and I can focus on other stuff. You did this shit with D-Law, okay? Bullshitting. Oh, well, we thought we had a deal at the combine and stuff, and he wants more. Of course, everybody wants more money. Get the damn deal done and stop screwing over your players and messing yourself up. That is Stephen Jones's bullshit that he keeps doing.
Don't let them get to don't tell them to go to and see what they can get from another team. Right. That's us. Again, you're this great business person. You're nothing.
Yeah.
You need to go take another accounting class, because if we add up the numbers, we look at the money that we've lost. When that deal fell through, even with the Dak Prescott situation, I said, that's not Jerry, that's Stephen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're never going to go anywhere with him running it. Never.
But there was a change in philosophy. I remember the Dallas Cowboys, before your deal was done, a year or on your last year, they would pound out a contract, so this way you would never even reach free agency. Right. Now, all of a sudden, with Steven, he wants you to go out the door so he can assess your value, and he's not smart enough.
Know how
I don't understand why you don't have enough people.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to negotiate. He doesn't know numbers.
And we go through all that mess with D-Law, and we get extra money on the cap, and we don't use it.
I'm gonna pull something up over here real quick for everybody who's watching. But hang on for 1 second here, because this is where I'm saying that I don't know that there's a major drop off between Dorrance Armstrong. This is a direct number here. Quarterback hits, Randy had 17, Armstrong had 12. Tackles for losses, Randy had 4, Dorrance Armstrong had 3. Sacks, Randy had 6, Armstrong had 5. Now Randy did have the forced fumbles and the interception. But numbers-wise,
what about quarterback pressures?
Quarterback pressures, I think Randy had 29. I think Dorrance had 19. I'm not saying now be clear here. I'm not saying that Dorrance Armstrong is as good, but you would think that we just lost Charles Haley and we were getting Taco Charlton instead.
That depends on how much potential you think Randy still has left, and I happen to think he has.
But this is a gamble, though. But hold on, this is a gamble on a guy who will be 30. Will be 30 this year, or is it 20?
Yeah, he'll be 30.
He'll be 30 this year, and he's got 16 sacks in his career. Now I know he doesn't have a lot of miles on him
too, because of games that he missed.
Yeah, but true, and I agree. He's cumulatively he doesn't have the mileage on him, but he's still beginning to get that age in there. And the fact that you still he had 10 penalties on the season with the playoffs.
Critical moments in the game.
Yeah. So you start saying, when are you going to turn that around?
How many did Armstrong have?
Dorrance Armstrong had, I have to look it up on him, but I think his was 4.
Okay. Yeah, I'm when the deal fell through, I was angry, but I'm sorry, Randy Gregory was not worth that contract. And he's starting to have little injuries as well. So no. I'd rather that money go on this guy we are all talking about here.
Here's the other side of the
Yeah, but will it?
But hold on though. Name me one big contract of guy that we signed that we've looked back and said, damn, it's a good thing we signed that contract.
I'll wait.
I'll wait too.
Scare money don't make money. You got to take a shot every now and then.
But you know what?
Well, if Gallup wasn't injured, I would have said his. But.
Well, we won't know for a couple of years on that.
Right.
But honestly, right. I mean, we look at DeMarcus Lawrence's for the money that we paid. Was that a good contract?
I think Curse is a great contract.
Who's this?
J-Ron Curse. I think his is great.
Yeah, his. No, I'm talking about. No, you missed me. I missed it on that. I'm talking about big contracts. J-Ron Curse is fantastic because his numbers are as good as Budda Baker's. And this is a difference of perception versus reality. People say, oh, man, I'll take Budda Baker. But if you look at it, J-Ron Curse actually had a better season. But people don't know that. Yes, ma'am.
Why do you think that's what is sort of a mystery with the numbers that J-Ron Curse had? Why did no one want to sign him? That was a mystery to me. I mean, I'm glad we retained him, but that was strange.
Because it's only 1 year.
Yeah. Because he has been there a couple of years. I mean, he played in Minnesota, I think, before, and so this year was a great year. And again, this may be a case of being in the right system with the right coach, and that doesn't always translate with a lot of the free agents. And this is where, you get a guy like Albert Hainsworth, and, Washington thinks, if we just get this guy and we put him on our defensive line, we're going to be lights out. And the reality was he just sat on his fat ass with that
plays on the ground, lets people run over him.
Yeah, I mean, the NFL is littered with a lot of big free agents. I mean, you think about typically, Washington would always make the big splashes of free agency, but yet Washington is always bad.
They're trying to get a quarterback.
Yeah, well, not just quarterbacks, but you think about Landon Collins. That was a big splash that they just did. Boom, 2 years later, he's gone. And, Josh Norman, that was another one. Or, like I said, Albert Hainsworth, Bruce Smith.
The Giants spent like $200 and some million on their defense, 2 years ago? And did nothing.
$250 million.
Well, that was actually 2016. That was the year they beat us. They did that year. The defense played really good, and then they went to shit after that and haven't done anything since. They've lost more games since 2017 than any other team in the NFL, believe it or not.
But, Mark, it's like you said, again, with going back to the Randy Gregory debacle, was he a difference maker in that San Francisco game? No, he hurt us.
He was a difference maker for San Francisco.
For San Francisco. Okay, but this is my thing with Dorrance Armstrong. Mark, I told you I'm going to get you a T-shirt. I've got to get it made. Coaching matters.
Oh, hell yes.
With Dan Quinn as defensive coordinator, he can coach the guys up, whereas before we didn't have coaches that could get them coached up. So he may not be Randy Gregory. Dan Quinn is sure enough a coach. And I have faith in Dan the man, and I feel he has the plan. All
right, I hear you on that one.
I hear you there.
And this may be a case too. Here. And this is where I can't wait to actually see. Now, he may be just a fill-in guy until, if the Cowboys end up getting a great defensive end or something, he may get cut. But I actually want to see Dante Fowler with Dan Quinn coaching him this season.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Here's the great news for the Cowboys is D-Law, for the first time in forever, is actually healthy in an offseason. He's actually working out now. This isn't like last year when he was on the PUP list going into training camp. This isn't to the labor and surgery where he can't lift weights all off season. He's able to actually feel happy. Okay, I got a deal. I can actually work out, and maybe he'll be in great shape going into the season, and maybe he has a better season. I don't think he's going to be, 14 and a half sacks and all that, but if he can get a bunch of attention, and now you've got Micah Parsons who, if we were to get that guy.
I'll say Michael Parsons influenced them, though.
Yeah, well, Micah Parsons, if you can play him as a wild card, and having Dante Fowler on the other side, if Gallimore plays well, all of a sudden he's not going to be able to get that much attention because look at Atlanta. Atlanta didn't have any playmakers on their defense. So you're also going to play better because of the people that are around you. And he may play better than what he did last year in Atlanta. And that was 4.5 sacks, 36 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 8 quarterback hits. I mean, it wasn't awful.
Well, Dan Quinn knows him better than anybody.
Yeah.
You on mine?
Yep. He coached in Atlanta and the University of Florida. So what does that tell you?
Right. In fact, let me do the comparison here.
Stacy and gentlemen, y'all have a good day.
It's time to walk the dog.
Bye, Stu.
Okay.
See you later, man.
Bye, Stewie.
All right. So,
bye, Stacy.
So humor me here for a second, right? If we take 2021 Dante Fowler and Randy Gregory, Dante Fowler had 21 solo tackles. Randy Gregory had 15. Dante Fowler had 15 assists. Randy Gregory had 4. Quarterback hits, Fowler only had 8. Gregory had 17. Tackles for loss, surprisingly, 6 by Dante Fowler, only 4 by Randy Gregory. Sacks, 4.5 to 6. And forced fumbles. Dante Fowler actually had 3 forced fumbles, just like Randy Gregory. So,
and see,
sounds like maybe Dante might be a better. I won't say huge upgrade, but I think he's probably going to be a slight upgrade over Randy Gregory, to be honest with you.
Maybe,
I think,
and a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
And if he doesn't have penalties at key moments, that's an upgrade. You know, because you can say, oh, yeah, you made a whole bunch of great plays, but, you know, getting a sack, if you end up having, you know, a scoring play because you got a boneheaded penalty, then that's just like taking the sack away.
Mark. Mark. Boneheaded penalties at certain times of the game.
Yeah. That last tackle where he tackled the offensive lineman in his third down, we could have gotten the ball sooner and maybe not have had to go ahead and do the quarterback sneak. Maybe we had a few more seconds on the clock in a shorter field. Those things matter.
Yeah. Yeah, we get the ball back, and instead we give them a first down.
Yeah.
This is just me, and I'm going to, I'm spitballing here when I say this. I think Randy Gregory is more of a free-spirited type of player, whereas Dante Fowler is probably more grounded.
Yeah.
He won't make those mistakes. I don't see Dante making the mistakes that Randy Gregory did.
More disciplined, you mean, right?
He is.
Yeah, he's going to play
Dante
the system and do what he's supposed to do.
Exactly. Dante, he's more of a put your hand in the ground, he's going to be there. He will not do anything to jeopardize the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Hutton, he thinks by midseason he sees Kellen Moore becoming the head coach. No, I can see Dan Quinn becoming the head coach, not Kellen Moore. No, I think the Cowboys soured on that whole idea real quick on that one. If anything, it's Dan Quinn. They believe in Dan Quinn right there in what he's done with the defense and the way the players. I mean, when Micah Parsons was sitting there talking about, Dan, it's almost like it's his dad he's talking about. And then asked, well, how's your relationship with Mike McCarthy? It's like, oh, we don't really interact. It's kind of like, wow. Now, I understand he's the offensive coach, but he's still the head coach. And this is where you need to be inside all these players' minds. So when it comes to a game and you say the guys are nervous, you're the one that's supposed to be able to calm them down. So I'm still trying to figure out what it is that Mike McCarthy does.
And again, there's no need for us to bring in Sean Payton because his record is comparable to Mike McCarthy. So I think I really think that if McCarthy falters, I really feel that job, Quinn has been promised that head coaching job. I really do.
I agree with you on that one.
Well, the thing is, Jerry Jones loves Sean Payton.
Well, I don't think you're going to see him here.
No,
I don't.
It ain't happening.
McCarthy, if he gets to an NFC Championship game, he'll stay the head coach. They will not switch.
Yeah.
I still don't see Sean Payton coming here. I really don't.
No, it ain't happening.
If it is going to happen.
All you Sean Payton fans, get off that hype train. Get off of it. It's not happening.
And
know,
go ahead, Thomas. Tell me,
like
get off the Bobby Wagner hype train too.
No, it seemed like every time when Dallas Cowboy fans think that something's gonna happen, it always ends in heartbreak. And when it ends in heartbreak, everybody want to get mad, want to cuss each other out. Stop that. Stop that. You should have known what was up when you start hyping that shit up.
Well,
pardon my language, Mark.
We get sold this stuff, man. You have to understand that everybody gets paid by selling us this stuff, because as hard as everybody's telling us how much we suck right now, by training camp, the Cowboys, they're a loaded roster. They're one of the talented teams in the NFL. They're a Super Bowl contender. You know that's coming. Yeah. You know it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, especially after the draft.
Oh, yeah, we got so much talent and stuff. It's like, no, remember
you want viewers?
Decided we're going to go out and get Tariq Hill. We're going to go out and get Devontae Adams and stuff. And we go out and we get James Washington. Okay? And having one or two guys that can make one or two more plays better than the other team is the difference between winning and losing. The difference between winning and losing is really 3 or 4 plays in a game. You can point to almost any game and find 3 or 4 plays that literally will change a game from winning and losing.
I'm excited for James Washington, actually. I'm kind of happy.
I can't wait to see what he shows this year. I mean, like you said, he was buried, or was it Stu? Stu may have said it. He was buried in the depth chart on the wide receivers, and Ben really just did not place his faith in Washington, towards the end of the season. So I think if you can give Dak and Washington some time alone just to run some plays and get the feel for each other, I dare say I think James Washington, this may be a breakout year for him, and I don't doubt if we maybe sign him to another contract after next season.
Mark, hold on, Mark. You said it best. I don't know if you remember.
I see so much shit.
Okay. You said it the other night. You said it whenever a free agent wide receiver come into Dallas, they have a career year.
Oh yeah.
So I am expected to see James Washington put on a huge impact.
Yeah, it amazed the hell out of me, because even Des Bryant, as bad as the connection was with him, he averaged 15.9 yards with Dak. The best he did with Romo was 15 yards per completion. Randall Cobb, remember Green Bay basically looked at it and said he's been going downhill the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And they just let him go. And when we signed him, it's like, oh, geez, Randall Cobb, really? But then
where does he go? He goes to Houston and then back to Green Bay.
He had Deshaun Watson throwing to him. He went from like 14.9 down to like 11 with Deshaun Watson as the number 1 receiver, right? He went back with Aaron Rodgers and it was like 12 point something. So it's like, wait a minute, how is he was averaging 3 yards more per completion with Dak Prescott than with the other guys? But you can look at that with Amari Cooper too, the same way. You can look at Allen Hurns and Des Bryant. So it's kind of like guys end up having a whole lot of yards, and maybe that's the system or something, but they end up kind of turning things around with being in their Dak. I know everybody says that Dak sucks, and he's no, come on, man. You have to give the guy some credit here at some point.
I think Dak can bring many a career out of the doldrums, and it doesn't matter what receiver. I dare say it doesn't matter what receiver he has. He could probably make that wide receiver better than when he came into the star.
Right.
Here's something.
That's if Kellen Moore allows it.
When people tell you, because somebody said that we didn't have money, we couldn't afford Devontae Adams. I don't know if you guys know what his cap number is for this year. Anybody have a guess?
Who?
Devontae Adams. He was traded to
the Raiders.
The Raiders, right?
Yeah.
If I remember, it was only $4 million for this year.
Actually, his cap number for this year is actually $8 million. But I'm just saying,
$8 million. Okay.
You think about the contract that he just got; it's $8 million. Okay, so if you want to get somebody, you can get somebody on the roster. It's not a matter of can; it's a matter of want. So you can make the numbers work out. I think.
Give it to him as a bonus.
Let me see what Aaron Rodgers' cap hit is actually, because he just got that big ass deal,
$50 million a year, isn't it?
Yeah, but his cap number, I bet you it's
outrageous.
No, actually, I think it's
Tyreek's making more than Devontae now.
Let me look it up real quick here. So his cap number with that $50 million, a year deal, it's only $28 million. I mean, it's still a lot, but it's only $28 million.
$28 million, yeah,
okay.
Wow.
So you think about, he just got $150 million guaranteed, but his cap number is only $28 million, which is reduced from where it was. It was going to be like 45, I think, before that. So they got him a new deal, and they ended up saving money in the same cash. Now, again, it just kicks it down the road, but the money's going to blow up. So that's where people say, oh, well, we don't have money to sign him. Oh, we only got, $16 million. We can't do anything with that. Actually, you could. You could sign Bobby Wagner and have it to be about a $6 or $7 million hit. Easily.
Baby nuts is scared.
Well, he is. He is. Let me see just for what his Deshaun Watson's number is with his fully guaranteed number.
Deshaun, I believe it was guaranteed.
It's guaranteed, but it's how you.
I think his first year, I think
it's only like $1 million. So
yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah, his cap. So here it is. He's got $235 million for a contract. His cap number is only $10 million.
Yep.
So don't tell me that the Cowboys can't sign anybody. You can.
They can.
Yeah.
They can.
Now,
they can.
Now, granted,
next
year his cap number is $54 million. But the salary cap will continue to go up and stuff. So they're basically, Cleveland is saying we're all in. And I think that this is the new way that teams are looking at this now, that you may be better off building the team and then going out and getting a quarterback than trying to say, let's draft a quarterback, because it's a crapshoot. You don't know if that dog's going to be able to hunt or not.
They're following the Rams.
And
I thought I read somewhere that OBJ might be going back to Cleveland now.
I heard that he wouldn't be opposed to that. So that was definitely, actually at this point, I think he just wants to play, and people haven't really, with him coming off the ACL, they're kind of slow on that.
Yeah, because he won't start the season either.
Yeah, he's like Michael Gallup.
He's going to be even farther into the season.
Right.
Yeah, he probably won't be around till maybe the 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th week.
And you're also looking at like, say, Jimmy G right now, that he may actually end up getting cut.
Man.
Mark.
Because he had
Mark.
Is he a better backup than Cooper Rush?
Oh, Lord.
I don't think you're going to pay that money for him to be a backup.
You're not.
No.
But he ain't going to be a starter nowhere.
Just get rid of him, though. I don't want him in the league.
I don't know. He could be a starter at Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Over
Sam Darnold?
Yeah, Sam Darnold. I almost said Bradford.
Yes, Jimmy,
and then there's Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is like, they were all, we want a first for him. It's like, you're not getting a first for him. You'd be lucky to get a second. No. I mean, Matty Ice went for a third. How do you think that you're going to get a first for Baker Mayfield?
Who the Colts got? They pick anybody up?
Yeah, they got
Matt
Ryan. They got Matty Ice.
Yeah, they got Matty Ice.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Matty Ice is over in Indy now.
Yeah, they got Matty Ice for a third.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. That's what I'm like. So how does Cleveland think they're going to get a first for Baker Mayfield?
No way.
No, man. Somebody's that crap pipe dream.
They've been hanging out with Randy Gregory.
I believe that that Mayfield's gonna be like Johnny Manziel. He'll be all big name about for a while, and then all of a sudden just fade away.
Yeah,
probably.
I don't know that we're going to see Baker probably much more than maybe 2-3 seasons more if he's lucky.
Him and Wentz are on their last leg.
Yeah.
Mark, getting back to that salary thing that you was talking about a while ago, I was telling some people early in the week.
Mm-hmm.
I told them, I said, man, this is like the NBA. You're not going to see any of these teams winning 4 and 5 Super Bowls in a decade anymore.
Mm-mm.
That's not going to happen for a while. We are now in the power team era. This is the power team era.
Maybe until it changes, though.
It's like the NBA now.
You know, sometimes you get lightning in a
That's what I'm
bottle.
saying. This is like the NBA now. This is the power team era.
Yeah, true.
You know,
but here's the thing, though.
They're trying to get these big time players so they can get these power teams now.
Yeah,
that's the reason why I call it the power team.
I agree with you on that one, but sometimes you just happen to get lightning in a bottle, and it's not easily replicated. I mean, we know that, okay, the Rams had a really good team to begin with, and they ended up basically getting Matthew Stafford being, not Jared Goff, and getting a couple other pieces in there that did it, boom, that worked great for him. But, I think that Deshaun Watson, he's gone to the Bermuda Triangle of quarterbacks. And I think a couple years from now, you're going to be looking back and saying, damn, that was a mistake. I really and truly believe that that's going to be the case, sir.
Last week we was talking about him, and everybody was saying, why he didn't sign with Atlanta. And I think I know why he didn't sign.
Because it's
You got to realize something. Atlanta, he's from there.
Yeah.
But you got to realize that city is wild.
It's real wild.
It's wild.
Haskins got drafted by Washington, which is his hometown. And he ended up spending all his time in the club getting tipsy.
You figure that if he would have signed for Atlanta, what happened down in Houston, same thing would happen in Atlanta too.
Yeah.
With the Instagram models and all that down there. He probably would have hooked up with one of them down there. Boom. There goes another allegation.
Yeah.
And I think his mom probably told him, son, you don't need to be down here.
That could
be.
To
go elsewhere.
Well, that in Atlanta has a long ways to go in comparison. At least Cleveland, you look at it and say, okay, you have Jarvis Landry. You ended up getting Amari Cooper there, and you look at it and say they got a really good defense. Maybe this team is a team that's ready to rock and roll. That's the way I think that's the way. And then we got $230 million guaranteed for you. Hell, I'll take that, and just to get out of Houston.
Yeah, and then $45 million just to sign on the dotted line up front.
Yeah. Money talks. Money talks.
Tell it to not Steven, but Steve Jones. Baby nuts. Tell him.
Cat boy. Good old cat boy there, It's just, I can just see Stephen Jones just kind of pulling up. Yeah. We got that deal done over there, man. Yeah. We know what we're doing. It's like, dude, seriously.
What about Tom Brady? I mean, good golly, the Energizer Bunny keeps going and going and going. When is that guy ever going to stay retired?
He won't, because Giselle said, go back to work, get out of my house.
He'll die. He'll die in the league.
Could be.
Hey, Mark, I got to go, but I got one question for you.
Sure.
How's it? Speaking of pulling up your pants, how's them cookies?
Oh, the cookies. See, you killed me, man. There's a couple of the brownies that are still up there, and they're like, Mark, and it's like, I'm on my keto diet, so I can't have carbs and sugar. And my wife is kind of like, she's not really huge into sweets. And
I didn't know that.
No, that's okay. Other than me, she says I'm so sweet. She said she doesn't need any of the sweets because I have you. Okay, I'm full of shit. But I'm noticing you actually have that Dak bobblehead doll, same one I have up there.
I do. I got Tank too.
Actually, it's Foco. I can't pronounce it right. They are actually coming out the Roger Staubach one. They're going to be sending me one of those. And we're actually going to be doing stuff with them where you guys will be able to get a discount and stuff with them. They've got some really cool. Yeah. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm working on that right now. So that way you guys will be able to get a discount. Because they've got some crazy. They have one with Roger Staubach, and it's like it's on the stadium and stuff. It's not done yet. You got a lot of cool stuff in there. In fact, I need to come to your house and rob it.
Yeah, his all is packed full of shit.
I won't. You don't have to tell Michael, but I'm sending him Tony Dorsett's rookie card.
Oh, nice.
So
wow.
I don't collect anymore, so I'm going to send him to him.
Yeah, that my thing is I need bigger. I need more space because I got so much stuff here. It's ridiculous. But I appreciate you being here and thank you so much for the cookies, man.
You're welcome.
All right,
see you guys later.
Bye. You know what? I did get one autograph from a former Cowboy.
Who's that?
Danny White. When he was the head coach of the Utah Blaze of the Arena Football League, they'd let us go down to the field level after the games, and he was sitting there signing. So I took one of my Danny White cards and had him sign it.
Cool.
I was like, yes.
Trying to remember. Did I ever meet Danny White? I don't think I actually did meet Danny White.
He's a great guy. I was very, very impressed with him. He's his mannerism. Oh man. Well, he is a very friendly guy.
We got the autograph signing show on this weekend coming up, and B.A.M. We're gonna get this one signed by Dak. Okay,
Dak.
Yes. Now, what we're doing, and I shout out to everybody that's on here. I made 2 of these, and I'm still working on them. We did the GoFundMe. We actually have raised over $2,500 for his charity, and today, at some point, my big check will be here to give to him for his charity. I'm going to have everybody who donated, their name's going to be engraved on the back of it. We're going to give one of these to Dak, so he has that for everybody who donated. And
I wish I could have donated.
Oh, you still can if you want to. I said,
can you?
$5 is fine. Whatever you can put into it. The second one, we're going to get autographed, and we're going to give it away to everybody. We'll do a drawing for all the people that donate on it. So we'll have that autograph piece. So that'd be
nice. Hey, there's Charles Haley.
Hey, Mark, I need a frame for this.
Well, we can do
you. You should make me a frame.
All right. We can definitely take care of Charles. All right. So y'all are all doom and gloom and think we got no chance in hell next year, right?
I think we do have a chance. It just all depends on how well we find the pieces to fill the holes.
I'm gonna make that judgment after the draft. Once we find out who we've drafted, then it can be said. Well,
Howard Floyd. Shout out to Howard Floyd with the $20 super chat. Thank you, Howard.
There is one draft pick that I'm curious about. He's a local kid here. He used to play for the University of Utah. Devin Lloyd. I can't wait to see where he goes.
Well, I think we're not far away from the draft here. We're less than a month. I mean, it's like we got so much stuff that's going on. It's crazy. I'm excited because it seems like it's been 10 weeks ago was when we lost our playoff game. Can you believe it's been 2.5 months already?
Wow.
The way time is flying through here. So before you know it, we'll be having OTAs and seeing some of these guys working out and things. Let me say something real quick about Howard Floyd here. Howard Floyd, super shout out to you because Howard has done a lot. The reason why I'm able to actually do like this piece right here, I have to give a lot of credit to Howard Floyd because he actually made a big donation to me to help to be able to afford to buy that piece. And I'm thoroughly indebted to him. It's actually changed a lot of the stuff that I've been able to do and so on. So I just want to give a special thank you to you, Howard. I am truly blessed to have a lot of great fans and stuff. I love actually doing these Sunday shows with you guys and getting other people's opinions on what's going on with the Cowboys and things. Because, to me, it's so much ugliness in the world right now. It's nice that, we may not agree with what the Cowboys are doing or a player and stuff like that, but the fact that we can have a conversation about it, to me, gives me hope into the future and things. All right, so we believe the Cowboys are going to be drafting some linemen. What else do you think we're going to be doing to try and improve this team? Does anybody think we're going to do anything?
I think we could draft a wide receiver in the middle rounds, like 3rd or 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think if they're good, if there's a good one there, you'll probably see a wide receiver in the 2nd.
Oh, that's true too.
I think you'll probably see him draft him in the 2nd, pair him up with Washington and CD.
I might, depending on who's there, I don't think I would mind if the Cowboys actually were able to move back a little bit.
I don't either, to be honest with you.
when you think about the amount of linemen that are going to be in this draft, offense and defensive linemen, if you could move back a couple of spots and be able to get an extra player, I would not have a problem with that at all. I mean, we did the Micah one where we got moved back and we picked up a third. When you think about when we did that with Travis Frederick, we ended up getting Terrence Williams with the other pick, which was not a bad deal at all.
Mark, I may sound crazy what I'm about ready to say, but I'm still something tell me that we're going linebacker for some crazy reason. I don't know why, but some tell me linebacker.
Well, that could be because they were in Penn State. Dan Quinn.
No.
Yeah.
No, I've been saying it for the longest. I've been saying it since early March.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was talking about this Devin Lloyd from Utah. If they chose to go up, how high would they go to go get him? He's a good linebacker.
Well, you know my take. Get Bobby Wagner and go ahead and get yourself a lights out offensive lineman. Okay, that's one less hole to plug. Yeah. Okay, take a chance. Yeah. Come on, just take a chance. Shout out to Chuck Smith and Dallas Bonita. I just put the link there for it. We're going to be able, as long as you do the donation before Thursday, because Friday is when I actually have to carve into the back of all the names of everybody that's on there. So that's actually the link for the GoFundMe right there. Or if you miss it, I pinned it. It's actually in the community tab, but the link is there as well. Okay? So shout out to everybody that's doing that. And also everybody who's done a super chat today. I got you in here. Tomorrow we'll do another drawing for one of the prints or a cutting board or something like that. We'll definitely be getting that to you guys. Okay. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing us trade back if we have a trading partner because there is so many linemen. If we could go ahead and get ourselves a guard and a swing tackle, I might be okay with Tyler Badish if we got a true lights out guard. So that way he's surrounded by two really good players. Anybody else? And anybody else worried about Tyron Smith? Anybody?
Yeah.
Nobody worried about Tyron Smith?
He'll probably be at least 4 games. We'll miss him for 4 games at least.
Hell, 4 games would be good. Shit. After the last two, I'd be happy if it was only 4 games.
Right.
Shit. He missed.
Well, there's a guy from Kentucky that I kind of like. I can't think of his name, but during the bowl game, he looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're definitely bringing in Kenyon Green for a visit, and the Cowboys always draft guys they bring in for visits. And Kenyon Green is about 6'4", about 330, 340. He's kind of a road grader type. Does get a lot of holding penalties, though. So, that would be the kind of guy they'd pick.
Guy from Texas A&M, ain't it?
Yeah, Kenyon Green, yeah. He's a big boy. He would go nice with Zach Martin on the other side there.
Yeah.
I think they need to do what they did last year and just concentrate, the first maybe 4 or 5 rounds on one side of the ball or the other.
And you can do that if you get Bobby Wagner.
There you go. Right. That would be nice.
Oh, Lordy. People are going to get sick of me saying that one, but it's kind of like, I get it stuck in my head. It was Calais Campbell years ago. And then it was Demario Davis. It's like, if you guys had done these moves, we could have been set up for a few years at least, but
Isn't Calais a free agent this year?
Okay, he's old now.
Yeah.
Okay, I was talking about like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
When he was leaving the Cardinals, if we had gotten him, oh my God, that defense would have transformed like crazy.
Oh my God.
Or if we had gotten Demario Davis 4 years ago instead of drafting Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith and stuff, because that guy hasn't missed a game. That guy's been an absolutely positive beast. He averages like about 110 tackles a year, about 4 or 5 sacks, and is a true leader that plays downhill. But, we go cheap. We get the Keanu Neals.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to tell you another player who we need to look for.
Who's that?
Just in case we don't get Bobby Wagner, you may want to look at Anthony Barr up in Minnesota because he's a free agent.
Okay.
And he's cheap. He's cheap.
Well, that's baby nuts. He's got to be on the speed dial.
Yeah, that's Steve.
And then there's another person that's been rumored is that Hunter in
Daryl
trade
Hunter?
talk
Daryl Hunter
from Minnesota.
Yeah, Daryl Hunter.
Yeah.
No. Minnesota re-signed him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Minnesota re-signed him last week. They re-signed him right after they signed Zadarius Smith. They got him.
Okay. So is anybody happy that Mike McCarthy's not going to the owners' meeting, that he's staying home and putting in extra work?
I am. He needs to put in as much time as he possibly can. I'm glad he's not going.
Yeah.
Now he'll have no excuses this fall.
Well, the draft, like I said, the draft's coming up fast.
Yeah, so, being about 30 days from now.
Yeah. What is it? I can't remember the date of the damn draft. What is the date?
I think it's April 28th.
28th, yes.
Is it like the last weekend?
Yep, it's the last week, the 28th. So exactly a month and a day.
It's on the last Thursday of April.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Oh God, so much to do between now and then.
Well, there's another guy in the draft that kind of like is that Sam Williams.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah, if they can find, like you said, Marcus, to draft back and still get the guy that they want.
Well, they did it with Micah. He got Goldson with the second pick. Yeah,
that would be like a steal, and then get someone that's actually worth a second and a third.
Mm-hmm.
Extra second and third pick like they did last year is a great value draft pick.
Yeah, Marley Greens, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Man, we just living the dream here and bitching and moaning about our Cowboys, hoping and praying that we can get our shit together.
I do want to tell you, salute to you, man. I watch you every day. I finally got my shot glass in the mail.
Oh,
and,
cool.
I'm just being patient with you whenever you get right.
Man, I've been still working on the ashtray. You fucked me up. Excuse me. You messed me up with the ashtray because I keep getting different pieces of green wood, and as soon as I start working, the bark keeps pulling off of it. So I'm still trying to get that together, and I'm gonna make sure
I'm patient, man. Let me see. I'm gonna show you the. I appreciate the birthday wishes too, man. I just had a little girl too on the 8th.
Oh, congratulations, man. Enjoy her because she will grow up faster than you can believe. Dallas Bonita, I got you on that one.
Let's see.
Mark.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Stacy.
You know that so I texted your wife, so I got my
oh
my
Lord.
receipt.
Are you getting a foot put in my ass again?
That's what I do, like the Geico commercial. It's what I do.
Oh Lord. Man, my wife I guess I have to do it myself because y'all keep messing it up. I'm like, oh Lord.
Well, the order was right this time since she did it. I thought I'd let you know.
I was like, Mike, you got to get this shit right, man. I was like, I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more, please.
I'm pissed off.
I was like, I said, because Stacey's going to tell Tracy, and Tracy going to put a foot in my ass. But it's all good. No, it's all good. For whatever reason, because we got your package messed up at the tailgate with the other guys and stuff. I was like, man, it's just we just keep messing up with you. It's not intentional, but we try hard. All right, so
that's okay.
We got about 6 more minutes. What's everybody's final thoughts for the Cowboys?
Coaching matters, and Dan Quinn will definitely make a difference again this year. That's my final take, and I think he's going to coach up Dorrance Armstrong and Fowler, and I think we'll be fine defensively speaking. But if we could get Bobby Wagner, oh my goodness, that would just be the icing on the cake.
Chuck Smith says that the Eagles are going to kill us in the draft. Well, they're going to draft the receiver, and we know that he's going to suck. How about that much? Okay,
there we go.
Okay, we know that one, right? And they'll probably draft a quarterback, and we know he'll suck too. How about that, Chuck?
That or else you're going to draw the ire from Philadelphia this week,
right,
my friend.
Oh, man. I mean, they got the picks, but having the picks and not knowing what to do. Hell, Washington football team literally got the whole draft of the New Orleans Saints for the
Rick. Yeah,
that Mike Dick had traded with them so they could take God, what's his name, running back? Damn, another I like Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams,
and they didn't do a damn thing with the whole draft. Okay, so I'm not going to say that the Eagles.
That was like what 7 or 8 picks.
Yeah, they literally gave every pick that they had for that draft so they could draft Ricky Williams, and Washington didn't get jack with it.
No, they didn't.
So.
Crazy.
Until they show me different. I mean, they did spend how many number ones to pick up Carson Wentz? How'd that work? 3?
Give or take.
Yeah, we'll see. I feel like old Red Sox fans always waiting for next year.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
beef up the line. That's what we need. Beef on the D line.
Both. I think if we actually concentrate on both of those, because, as far as our defense goes, I'm okay with our secondary. Bring back J-Ron Curse. I still would like to get, of course, Bobby Wagner. I'm going to be, until Bobby Wagner signs someplace, you're going to keep hearing me say Bobby Wagner. So just y'all get used to it.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with the defense. If they could just get the big run stopper in the middle, I think that defense would be actually really good with just the players that they have right now. But, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll. Stephen Jones don't listen to me.
All I can say is be wise with those draft picks. Make sure you've done your homework before.
Yeah, and we've got to make ours work because when you start thinking about Green Bay having like 2 number ones and 2 seconds, and Kansas City with 2 1s, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths, we got to really make a whole lot out of our picks. We got to be home runs on all of them.
Yeah, we need to make sure that we hit home runs and hit right, because you got a lot of teams in this draft coming up that have more than one first round draft choice. And that's the reason why I keep trying to tell everybody. Everybody talking about Tyler Lindenbaum and all of these good linemen. That's the reason why I say he's not going to be there when we draft, because teams having more than one draft choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler won't be there.
True on that one. Well,
how about a good center or something? We need a good center.
The center typically is not a first-round draft pick guy. I mean, usually all your tackles, you usually get tackles, maybe 1 guard, maybe 2. Centers, with the exception of when we took Travis Frederick, they're usually not a first-round guy. So you can get a good center in the second round. Really good center, one of the top prospects there.
Yeah, I'm thinking about later rounds or something like that. But I think if we had a nice little center, that most definitely help with the run game. We already got Zach.
I think I would rather have, if I need a starting guard, and I need a swing tackle, a guy who can play, multiple positions when Tyron Smith goes down. So, and then I would say the center.
It's one offensive tackle that that's been hitting on my mind. That is Trevor Penning. That dude, he's nasty, Mark. I don't know if you've seen his film, but he's nasty.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
I think he would be the one that'll be Tyron Smith's successor. He's out of Northern Iowa, if I'm sure.
Okay.
Trevor Penning.
All right, I'll check that out. Let me write down Trevor Penning. Okay. All right. So, with that being said, it's now 6:00. We've been on here for an hour and a half, man. Let me say thank you all for our panel that's been here. And Stu, of course, he has to go out and walk the dog. So shout out to him, of course. Roland's review, because she jumps in right after her live stream. We start at 4:30 because I don't want to interfere with Roland's live stream, and definitely a place you can get some great knowledge and everything else. So definitely check out Roland's review. The link is still in the description there if anybody wants to be part of the GoFundMe that we're doing for Dak's charity. Faith Fight Finish, and we are over $2,500. I can't believe it. Shout out to you guys. Over $2,500. We're going to be presenting it to him and his foundation next weekend at autograph signing. So we're definitely going to have a good time with that, and hopefully the Cowboys can get their shit together. The final note I'm going to say is what I really enjoyed this week was Philly 500. Finding out that Derek Barnett was re-signed.
Oh my gosh! Did you get it recorded, Mark? Tell me you got it recorded.
Oh my God! That there was nothing better than Philly 500 going off about Derek Barnett. That's like the gift that literally keeps on giving. And you know what?
Home. We need a big play.
I'm gonna have to play out there trying to.
We're not doing the Jacksonville play where you kick it and let the dude catch it and then run.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh my God!
Guys, just watch it.
Doing
You sure about that?
We ain't doing that.
Hail Mary time.
Shout out to everybody that's in here. Devin, at halftime, we'll do a drawing. Not the same energy on defense. You know, I think it could be a little bit of a letdown after, you know, going through and believing the hype of, you know, destroying the Eagles. But the Eagles are playing pretty good against Kansas City. I don't know if that says more about Kansas City or the Eagles.
His arm's very. He just put his whole soul into that joint, and that joint did not make it to the end zone. That was a noodle. That was a duck.
Wow.
He put his whole soul into it too. That's the worst part, bro.
Danny Pesos.
Here comes. Oh my man. Oh my goodness. That was counted as a catch.
Chief, I'm gonna get up for flag. All right. With the guy.
Wow, they're gonna score a touchdown.
He's wearing it.
Uh-oh.
No.
He's melting down.
He's wilding right now.
That's good. That's good, Philly.
He's losing it.
Yeah. He's wilding.
At least the Giants have hope. Y'all don't have no hope.
That was worth the
Y'all hanging in there with the Chiefs, man. That's
good. Man. Oh boy.
He should be their mascot.
Boy, you have to love Philly 500. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun this year. Philly 500.
And you know what? You know what's so crazy, Mark?
A Philly 500.
You know what's so crazy, Mark?
Philly 500. Yeah,
no, Eric Barnett. He's from my hometown, and I used to watch him play at Brentwood Academy.
Oh,
he was a high school All-American.
Okay. And now Philly 500 hates him.
Yeah, and now Philly 500 hate him with a passion.
Oh my God. He literally, as soon as he did the video, he said, "Man, have fun with this." He's like, yeah. He's just so distraught about Derek Barnett coming back. Just for me, that just made my whole offseason. But everybody, we got to get ready to get up out of here, and I appreciate y'all. We're going to be doing this every Sunday. Of course, we have plenty to bitch about with the Dallas Cowboys and everything that's going on with them. And I appreciate everybody being here. And where is my ending? Let's see. Oh, I tell you what, we'll end with this here today. How about this?
I enjoyed it, Mark. Everyone enjoyed it.
All right, y'all, take it easy.
Okay. See you.
Blew my cheek.